What's up, YouTube? Professor John here, trying something new this week. I'm going to try to give a weekly update about what I'm doing, what I'm working on, what you can expect next week, and I'm going to give you some of my favorite bass players and some of my favorite bass lines so you can check them out. See if you like them, you might like them, or you might not. So it's just trying to open people to new music, and hopefully you like it. I want to start out talking about the cover video I did last week. I covered Talk by Khalid. It's a pretty cool song. It's been getting very popular. He's been getting a lot of airplay recently too. He's got a pretty interesting voice that is very smooth, and it really lends itself well to this kind of mixture of pop and R&B and neo soul. I thought the bass line of this was great. It's just a laid back pocket and you just hit the root notes. It's very easy. But I like it because the pocket is laid back and it does give you that laid back neo soul type feel. And really the result of his voice and the music is just a nice, smooth, relaxing, laid back love song. So go check out the cover. I'm going to put the links to everything I talk about in the comments below, or in the description below, sorry. So make sure to check that out. And let me know what you think of the cover video. The next thing I want to talk about is I released the third track for my album, Freshman Orientation, on YouTube. This track is called Georgia Sounds. It's a pretty cool, funky song. It's got a slap bass parts throughout the whole song as far as the bass goes. And then it has a little bit of a country twang to it, which is why I called it Georgia Sounds, because it kind of reminded me of, number one, the country music in my area here in the southern U.S. in Georgia, and it also kind of shows the diversity that's in the Atlanta music scene as far as like electronic music goes, funk music goes, rock music goes, all sorts of music really. The chorus in this one, it's a 9/8 time signature, so it's got that extra beat in there, which makes it sound kind of weird, but I like doing that a lot. So go check that video out too. That's going to be in the Freshman Orientation studio version playlist, so check out that playlist if you haven't heard the album yet. Leave comments on the video if you dig it, and let me know what you think. Another cool thing I did this weekend is I went and had a music chat with my buddy Jack Skolin of Skolin Media. And we really just talked a bunch of stuff from bass gear, bass technique, the music industry, YouTube, different projects we're working on, and we even discussed the click track conspiracy, which I was unaware of, but Jack let me know, and I appreciate it. I met Jack back probably 3 to 5 years ago, maybe longer, when we played the same bill with his band, Dr. Strangelove. So go check them out on Spotify. I'm going to throw a link in the description to their Spotify page so you can check it out. They jam hard, they rock hard. It's a lot of cool stuff coming out of Atlanta, and they're definitely a part of it. So I did this bass talk with him, and it was great. We talked about everything you can imagine, and you really need to go check it out. The link will be in the description again. And you know, it's crazy when you make an hour and 45-minute chat with someone and it feels like you were there for 20 minutes. So it's a great chat with Jack. Go check out the Skolin Media YouTube page and subscribe to that to get more of these chats in the future. One of the things we talked about at Jack's was one of my favorite bassists, Wayman Tisdale, and he wasn't really familiar with him, so I figured I should start off with him when I talk about bass players on this little weekly episode sort of thing. So Wayman Tisdale, he's just a smooth jazz bassist. He did a lot of solo stuff. He played in the NBA. He was a 3-time All-American in basketball at Oklahoma. He was in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. He won a gold medal with USA Basketball in 1984, and he was the 2nd overall pick in the NBA draft behind Patrick Ewing. So those are some damn good, resume items to have when you're a smooth jazz bassist. So his life's been really interesting to me, and he started playing bass in the church. His dad was a pastor, and I feel like those church bassists are always killing it. He recorded his first album in 1995 called Power Forward, and he made 8 solo albums, and the last one was released in 2008. Unfortunately, Wayman passed away in 2009 of of osteosarcoma, and he had cancer in his knee. And man, he just had a great story of growing up and playing bass in the church, then following his passion of basketball and making a career out of that before going back to making a career out of smooth jazz music. And then him fighting cancer is just a whole another great story in and of itself. He has a documentary out there. It's called The Wayman Tisdale Story. You need to watch it. If you like music, if you like basketball, if you like people, if you like stories, you gotta go watch this. I'm hoping it's on YouTube. If it is, I will also put a link in the description of that. Some of my favorite songs of his, he does a cover of Ain't No Stopping Us Now by McFadden Whitehead, and that's on his Way Up album. And then the song Rebound, that is off the same title of the album Rebound, which is his last album, is also a great song. So I recommend those two tracks. If you haven't listened to Wayman before, check those out, listen to them, and you may find yourself a new favorite bassist. So my bass line of the week this week, the first week, I also talked about with Jack, is Brick House by the Commodores. I love this song. I played this bass line for years. It was probably one of the first funk bass lines I've learned while playing bass because it is such a popular funk song. It was just one of the first ones I really knew, and I knew it had a grooving bass line. I knew I wanted to learn it, so I did, and it kind of has stuck with me since then of just a great bass line. So this song is off the Commodores' self-titled album, and I actually read a lot about this just to talk about it, and it's pretty interesting. The bassist for the Commodores, Ronald LaPred, he wrote the bass line in the studio when there was an equipment problem, and when everything got turned back on, he was slamming that bass line, and everyone came in to track it, and then they got a songwriter to write it down. And another interesting thing is their drummer, Walter Clyde Orange, sang on the song instead of Lionel Richie because he has a funkier voice. And I didn't know that either, and I was kind of wondering why Lionel didn't sing on that when he sings on everything else. So I thought that was cool, and he does definitely have a funky voice, so I'm glad they went with Walter Clyde Orange there. So the song turned out how it did. And another cool thing, or not cool thing, just more information about the song is, I can't find this verified, but it sounds like he's playing on a P bass, which is a precision bass by Fender. And from what I've read, when he was playing it live, he was using fingers on the low strings, and then he would do pops, just every once in a while on the higher up part, and that's why it kind of sounds the way it does, like it's not just slapping and popping. So he is just kind of doing a combination of both fingers and popping, and that's how he's getting that deep tone on the low strings and getting that popping sound on the high strings. And I think that P bass tone is great. I don't really play a P bass a lot, which is funny, but I would honestly never buy one to slap on. But there's so many of these old school funk songs that have the P bass and they're slapping, and it just has that nice thick tone, and you can't go wrong with that. Other stuff I've been doing this week is I streamed some video games. I was streaming MLB The Show 19 this week, and I actually failed in my 5th inning battle to try to get Luke Gehrig, but still got the 6th inning coming up, so I'll probably be streaming some of that this week. And also NBA 2K20 comes out this week, so I'm going to be making my character, trying different archetypes out. I usually go for a point guard that is a playmaker, slasher, and I usually do a center that's either a pure defense or pure rebounder, but we'll see how it goes. And I'll probably show you some of that stuff next week as well. I'm really pumped about NBA 2K coming up. It's my favorite game every year. I'm going to play it hard. So the last thing I want to end this with is some Monday motivation that I post every week on my Instagram. So this week I posted, sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take the step. And I think this is so true, and I love motivational stuff like this because I can point to stuff in my life that I did to get to where I am today. And you never finish anything you don't start, so that's just impossible. And if you don't try it, you'll never get better, and you'll never know if you can make it to that next level and do what you really want to do. And I think that's like really important, just self-improvement and getting better every day at whatever you want to do. If it's, cooking, if it's video games, if you're playing music, if you want to read better, if you want to write better, you just got to practice and you got to keep doing it. And I just think that's a really important thing. But if you never start and try to do this or try to get better, it's just never going to happen. If I'd never started playing bass or even just solo bass, I wouldn't have a lot of the friends that I have today, and or really making this video for you guys. So there's a lot of things I've done that I can point to get me where I am, that got me where I am today. Not to get me where I am, but that got me where I am today. And you just got to keep improving yourself to keep trying to get to that next level. And I think that's what it's really all about. We're taking the step either to improve yourself or just to try something new can get you to that next level as long as you put in the effort to do it. And just personally, I've been wanting to do these weekly updates for a while now. I do them on my email list. I figured I could put it into video form and for everybody. If you're on the email list, you're still going to get my written weekly updates, so don't worry. If you're not on the email list, click in the link below in the description and join it. Get some free music, buddy. But I wanted to do these, but I didn't really have the motivation to do it now, especially after talking to Jack this weekend. He just gave me some ideas, and you gotta try new stuff and you gotta do it, and this is what I'm trying. So I'm taking my advice for Monday real hard, and we're gonna do it right. Now I'm gonna talk about some stuff that's coming up this week. The cover video I'm gonna do is Blanco Brown's The Get Up. I heard it yesterday or the day before, so I would crack it up, and any excuse to wear a cowboy hat in a video is good for me. I'll be streaming some NBA 2K20 demo for sure, so come ask me some questions. I'll be uploading the studio version of Bianca song, which is the 4th track off my debut album. The song's got a kind of melodic chordal verse, and then it gets kind of rocky and has like a deep string section playing with the bass and the chorus, and there's a cool little melodic solo part in there too, so check that out. And subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notified that I'm putting out these new videos. That way you can see them when they come out. You can tell me what you think. Some things I want to do in the future: I have my pedal board in shambles in that black bag over there, and I'm going to be putting that together for you guys and just kind of explain why I'm putting stuff in certain orders, just show you the videos of me putting it together. And then trying to either get a new loop pedal or get my loop pedal fixed. I don't know why I have such bad luck with these loop pedals, but I do, and I want to get making those loop videos again. I also want to start putting some lessons and exercises up on my channel, so make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you think about this episode. Let me know what you'd like to see in future episodes or future videos in general, and stay funky. Peace. Hey, this is Professor John. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up below and leave a comment. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're interested in some free music of mine, please check out my website, www.professorjohnmusic.com. Also, I'm active on social media, especially on Twitter and Instagram, so if you want to leave me a message there, I'll be sure to get back to you shortly. Alright, thanks, and stay funky.